Hi, beautiful shining stars. So, I want to create an introduction to the language of money class that'll really blow you away because we have been so conditioned to think that there's not enough because the controllers, who I like to call the stone people. So, when you hear me talk about those stone people, is usually the dogmatic religions, um, the rules, the society, the governments, anything that's trying to keep your energy and vibration down. Now, when Spirit told me what this class was going to be about, I had like a little glimpse, I had like a little idea, but as it's all coming together and being shared with me in such a vivid way, I'm like super blown away. Super blown away because I realize, and I've known this for a long time, that we're constantly being influenced, we're constantly being hypnotized, we're constantly being sent and embedded energies into our divine consciousness and to keep us down, to keep us in lack. So, the exercises that we're going to be doing in this beautiful class. Now, this is not, if you guys have been following my courses around, this is not a course that has like, 50 weeks and, that stuff. I know I'm exaggerating. I think our longest course has been 6 weeks. But anyway, this is a course to teach you how to tap into the language and frequency of money. So I wanted to create this introduction video to really explain to you what the language of money is. And what is money? What is language? What is frequency? Language, the principal method of human communication, consisting of words used in a structured and conventional way and conveyed by speech, writing, and or gesture. If you have followed me in scripting, especially in the last class, we did written scripting, energy scripting, voice scripting, mental scripting. So here, just in the definition that you could Google, it explains that the principal method of human communication is words used in a structure to express, to convey what you're trying to express to the person, tell the person, explain however it is that you're communicating, right? Then it says a system of communication used by a particular country or community, because there's different languages, a lot of different languages. Simple layman's term, a system of communication used by humans. But there's so much more to the language, so much more background to language. Words have meanings. Words influence actions, emotions. If somebody tells you something negative, something that hurts your feelings, sometimes that hurts more than if they kicked your ass. You don't know how many times I have worked with clients that would tell me, Daisy, I'd rather if they just beat my ass than express to me the negative words that they're sharing with me. I'm constantly working with my husband because my husband is a very sarcastic person, and then he'll say things like, oh, you're so dumb, or you're such a dummy, or you're lazy, and he knows I'm not, and then I look at him and I go, do I call you lazy? Do I call you a dummy? I mean, I will say things too, because as a human nature, we'll tell each other not nice things, but it's not my vocabulary. It's not something I'm constantly, I call people beautiful. I'm just like, it's a whole different vocabulary for me. Then I also learned something else in my many, many years of study, right? One of the things is that there's different species within our earth, and one of the ones that are more earthbound, come from their ancestors that were known as the original cavemen, right? So and this is going to sound really harsh, since their mind didn't really expand to a certain level. It's very easy to manipulate, control, and dominate using vocabulary, using language. If you're like, Daisy, what does this have to do? Okay, so if I'm the government and I'm telling you on the news, on the media, that we've so many believed because the government's meant to reign over us, teach us, guide us, and protect us, right? And I'm telling you, we're running out of money. We don't have enough money. We're about to go bankrupt. We're in deficiency. What happens is that caveman energy inside of, because we all have that energy, no matter what, solar, cosmic, galaxy we came from. Because I believe that we all have evolved through the millions of years that we've been here on Earth, right? We hear these people that reign over us, back then were the gods. After that, they were the kings. Now they're the presidents and the whatever. So we still have kings and queens. We believe when they tell us that there's lack. What if I shared something crazy with you to prove to you that money is infinite, that money is an infinite supply? And I'm going to express to you why. So I wanted the introduction of this class to blow your socks off, to really illustrate in such a simple way for you to comprehend that you and I have been lied to for centuries, because they want to control us, because they don't want too many billionaires and millionaires, and when it starts to get out of hand, things happen so they could take back control. Why is the whole Bitcoin thing? I remember I was like, what is Bitcoin? I don't understand Bitcoins. I lost in being able to tap into Bitcoins because of my lack of education, my lack of investment ideas, because when I first was introduced to Bitcoins back in 2007, Bitcoins was $1. But it was something new that we didn't comprehend because I did not understand the language of money. I was in my early 30s. So what is money? Money is a current medium of exchange in the form of coins, banknotes. Sums of money is plural, monies. Money is also assets, properties, resources owned by someone or something. Wealth, an object is generally that can lead to wealth, is the assets, right? Sorry guys, hold on. Okay, my heart sometimes goes crazy, so I have to catch my breath. Okay, so any object that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services. And this is where I'm going to blow you away. Goods and services. And who provides that? I want you to think about that for a second. Who provides goods and services? Think about that. I want you to get an idea as I'm going to share this with you, and I want to really just knock your socks off. You do. I do. We do. So, if there's billions of people in the planet offering goods and services for the exchange of coins and banknotes and digital currency and assets and real estate and whatever the fucks, how is there a deficiency of money? That is the biggest lie ever told. There is no deficiency of money. That is just a way for the stone people to keep you under control. Because what they do is they'll take large sums of money, because they could print money anytime they fucking want. And to balance it out, who do they take that from? From their people, through goods and services. So they pay you less for your services and they charge you more for the goods. Isn't that crazy? they call it inflation. You know, I remember when butter used to be $2. And I talk about that shit all the time because when I paid $11 for a thing of butter, 11 something, almost $12, I was blown away. Think about it. I'm paying almost $12 for butter that they used to cost $1 to $2. You will not find any butter for $1 or $2 because the governments are understanding, acknowledging that we are learning. We're figuring out the system, this controlling system that universally, cosmically, energetically wise is losing its power. The banks, which are the controllers, because the banks control the money, they've lost control because what happens is people have stopped putting money in the banks, or people are using digital banks or bitcoins. And what's going on is that the banks are losing power. And they did this to themselves because they stopped taking care of the people. So it took years, it took decades for people to notice what was happening. And then now they're trying to keep the human race almost squashed down by expressing that there's not enough, there's a deficiency, we're going bankrupt. No matter what state you're in, country you're in, and you see it especially in the lower countries because they pay less for the services for the consumers to buy. And then the consumers are paying more, you know? That's why there's places that have children that are working. So the main function of money is the medium of exchange, a unit, account of a store value. The first coin comes from the 7th century before Christ, and the first paper money came around 1020 after death. There's no exact pinpoint of when money was created or who created it, but 5000 BC, metal objects were used as money. So think about, our earth is millions, who knows, infinite. We could have been here forever, right? Because we can't comprehend that. Our human mind can't comprehend that. So money is infinite as long as there's people that provide goods and services. So the governments tell you that money is equivalent to gold or silver, and while those are form of assets, it is not an equivalent, because the equivalent is you. And for example, I know that I really can't be sharing this because then I could have a problem. Because one thing, like, you know, this is why you create these classes and courses, because it's more one-on-one. It's more kind of secrets being shared in exchange for you to share with your family, your friends, and it causes a ripple effect, because the whole point is the wealthier, abundant, prosperous we are, the more help we could give. So today I read or listened to a podcast about a near-death experience where this young woman, I'm keeping it short, she kind of blacked out. They had to intubate her, and she talked to her mom, who was and I'm getting chills talking to you. I don't know if you can see my goosebumps. Met her mom, high frequency energy. Her mom helped her ricochet the darkness, because she says that she had like this lot of dark energy because she had gone through a severe divorce, and she spent her whole time trying to protect her children and keep herself kind of like home work security. You know, it's like a circle, like, you know, like a hamster wheel, right? That is what the controllers, the stone people, want you to do. They want you to be on a hamster wheel. They want you to keep working, to keep producing. They make things more expensive, so it's harder for you to reach them. And then when the people that make less money, they'll try to balance it out by giving out, you know, food stamps, which are snaps, which is also inefficient. They're not even helping with that. You have, like different helps and things to kind of, help people through certain things, grants and fundraisers and stuff like that, because they benefit from this. Fundraisers, nonprofits do not have to pay taxes. Yet, all those donations don't go to the sources. A lot of that money is kept by the elites. Grasp that. One of the reasons I stopped giving to, and this is going to sound horrible and you could judge me and that's fine. One of the reasons I stopped giving to certain fundraisers, I'm not going to name it, like I was going to name one, but I said no, was because a long time ago, I was in a dire situation, and I needed help. And I called these fundraisers that I myself had donated to for years, through school, through work, fundraisers. And when I went to get help because I needed it, no help was offered to me. So I started doing a little digging and researching, and I found out that it's very hard for the people that need the help to get the help from these higher fundraisers. Easier to get help from local charities and communities because they're people like you and me that have a business and they love to help. So it's easier. So when you're like needing help, find like local churches, local community groups, local funding, right? Because when you're going to like the big ones that are taking every time you go to the supermarket, like, oh, so and so is trying to raise money for this, Y, and Z. Another reason was because when Puerto Rico had this huge storm, one of the biggest fundraiser companies didn't help right away. And once they helped like a certain amount, and then they upped and left. And these people over there were like starving. So, and I know it because I saw a documentary about the chef who interviewed them. So it was no dicking around, and he could not believe that that was happening. So he, of course, he's a millionaire, used his money, contacted other chefs, other millionaires, and they started putting their own money and their own stuff to feed the Puerto Rican people that were literally starving. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is, if I wanted to keep you at a low vibrational level, at a level of lack, I would use language to tell you we're in deficit. Listen to the words: deficiency, bankruptcy, not enough. These are all words of lack that when you hear them is a frequency that you cause a ripple effect and that you're aligning with, and it is coming into your aura and your energy. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. You know, I'm very honest. I don't tell you, oh, it's easy. All you have to do is align. I'm not one of those people that tells you, because that's bullshit. Because if it was fucking easy, I would be a gazillionaire helping people. I would be Elon Musk. Okay, people? But I will say that ever since I started doing this, my wealth is growing. And I've noticed that it becomes a level of my acceptance of what I expect, accept, and then receive. Because again, it is a language. And in this course, you are going to learn that language. You're going to tap into that frequency, and money is going to become your friend, because you are providing a service. You're providing goods. You're exchanging energies. You just have to bring up the level. And I know, because I had to do this as well. You have to bring up your level to your worth. And that, my friends, is when the big magic happens. When you become worthy of money. When you become worthy of a certain amount. When you decide that you are worth this much money, and that much money shows up. And then you get to play and decide, am I good here, or do I want to continue to grow? It is so beautiful. when you tap into this vibration. And I wanted the introduction to be somewhere where I could express the language of money and why you, me, and 89.9% are living in lack, are living in poverty. The middle class is disappearing because there's more millionaires now. So the controllers, the stone people, are afraid. So they're causing chaos and friction to keep you tamed and controlled. You don't know how many times, like especially when I work with individuals that always tell me that they can't afford this or can't afford an $11 class, that I notice that it's very hard for individuals like that to come out of that energy, that frequency, because they always stay at that level, because they always see the lack, they always see the not having enough, the losing their place, the, you know, you don't feel like you deserve the wealth that you desire. So when we tap into this energy in this class, in these modules, and you do these exercises and you repeat them, okay? Because this is not a 1 week, 1 day, no. This is major work that you are going to shift your life completely, okay? And I'm going to also share with you how when people in your life, we did that in our scripting class as well, because this is something that's very, very important. And that's something else that the near-death experience woman shared. I'm the first one that used to say that forgiving someone is about you, is not about them, but actually it's about everything. We don't kill energy, we transmute energy. If you hear me do certain rituals and meditations, when I clear the negative energy, I send it into the black hole to be transmuted into positive energy or until Judgment Day, because some of those energies are kind of like stuck. So then I give it to the higher power to deal with that. All I do is take it out of where it's inhabiting and causing friction and chaos, send it into the black hole, and then that energy transmutes it. And I always share, just like we do with trees. We are so connected to trees. You could study, now there's doing a lot of things to see how connected humans are with trees. And I think it's crazy because if you look at the movie Pandora or Avatar, you see that Yahweh is a major tree that has a lot of energy, that has, you know, frequency. The roots go all over the planet. So energy is something that is constant and that can be transmuted but doesn't die, because we're infinite. So everything is infinite. It's always going, it's always working. So therefore, if you tap into that energy, you tap into that frequency, you could bring in, because you're transmuting, think about this, you're transmuting your goods and services for money. So it's an exchange, right? I'm giving you my class and you're giving me the money. I use this money to pay my bills, to build my class. I also donate. So the money is a constant flow, a constant vibration energy. And I'm going to share with you how to also have physical energies and vibrations in your home to attract money. So we're going to be doing amazing energy work. This class is magical. It's informative. It's going to be lucrative and guide you into your wealth and your abundance and prosperity. So make sure you take notes, grab a little notebook that's just going to be for this class. I always recommend Post-its, highlighters, different color pens, because the point is that you want to find the notes that you're going to be able to use. Of course, I share with you workbooks because the exercises are going to cause a ripple effect in your essence, right? But there's some things that you're going to grasp now, and there's some things that you're going to grasp later when you come back. All I could tell you and advise you is repeat, practice. Think of this as an exercise to become stronger. But instead of building muscle, you're building frequency vibrations. You're becoming stronger at bending the energies, transmuting the frequencies and energies to align with what you are trying to create. In this case, abundance and money. Thank you all. I'm excited about this. I think it's crazy because usually when I create my classes, I create them as I go. And Spirit's just, I guess, really excited about this work. So yeah, this is going to be crazy. So get ready. You might want to repeat this video a couple of times to really understand and grasp that you are never in lack, that there's always more than enough. And we will be, of course, working more on that because we have to reprogram our subconscious. It's constantly on repeat of what we have been taught in the past. So we have to reprogram that, delete all of those, voices, experiences, situations, so you could tap into. I mean, do you think a rich man thinks that they're going to be poor? There's some that are in fear, but more often than not, they focus on the investments. Think about the Warren Buffetts, the Carnegies, the Elon Musk. Like, think about all these individuals that are super rich, Oprah Winfrey. Like, they're constantly in an investment mode. And while some of them, all the investments are not positive, they're still investing. So even if they fear lack, because I feel like humans, we're always going to find some kind of fear, which I talk about that in my scripting class, what fear is. It's working through it. Fear is not always negative. It's actually here to protect us, guide us, and show us and keep us safe. But that lower vibrational energy feeds fear and then causes that negative energy. All right, so thank you guys. You're amazing, because I do this work so we could grow and prosper. But also because I know that if you are growing and prospering, you'll be able to take your knowledge, your wisdom, your services, your goods, and help others. And this could be monetary, this could be hands-on, this could be verbal. Like, it's all about community. And that, I feel like that is the major shift that's trying to happen. It's getting rid of the unconscious hiding away and building communities and tribes to help each other grow and prosper. Namaste.